So in today's video, we are going to test out the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 with the close-up lens. We're gonna get a nice little in-depth test on it today. I am in the process of getting ready for a trip. So, gotta get some laundry done. I gotta run some other errands in a little while. But I figure what a good day, finally get a test done, a little more in-depth test on the close-up lens. Also using the Insta360 Mic Air for, I guess, the second time. We have these crazy washer and dryers here at this apartment complex, and you set it up on your app. That's how you pay. It's interesting, but it's nice because I can go home and I can track, how much time is left, which is pretty cool. So now you can see there, it tells me basically how long I have. Still getting this focus right on this close-up. I am, I guess, on the people focal length currently, so let's see if I can make it closer. This, I think, is considered the macro, so that does look a little better. Pretty cool. The worst part, laundry, is folding. Anybody else hate folding laundry? Everything else is fine. You put it in, you turn it on, put some soap or whatever else, and that's it. It does its thing by itself. Ugh, the folding part is awful. I mean, I don't fold it like fancy or anything. It just, just a quick fold on the pile. And gotta go pick up a few things from Target, just some travel items and whatnot. I'll show you what I get in just a little bit. Also, I do have the Mic Air, or the Mic Air Pro, is that what it's called? I have that down here actually connected to my shorts on my leg. Trying just different setups, like I don't know if this is good for the car. Having it up here was just kind of being restricted by the seat belt. I mean, I guess I could move it to another part of my shirt, but just trying different things. So hopefully this sounds good. Also, hopefully those clips from earlier inside the laundry room weren't spiking or anything. I'm not really sure. I didn't really notice that here on the screen. There's little levels up top that show the audio level. I don't think it peaked, but I'm not really sure because I don't know what I currently have the settings set at. I think it's just at 0, but I don't know. So we'll see. Again, just kind of testing all kinds of things out. So we'll see how this turns out when I start editing it later today. Hello.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you too. So since I'll be going on a trip, I don't know that I'm going to have any videos up next week. So far, I've been fairly consistent with at least keeping up like one video a week for the most part. But I don't know if it's going to happen next week because I leave on Tuesday and I don't come back till the following Tuesday, so on the 10th. But we'll see. I don't know. This one will go up before I leave for the trip, so I'll have that one. While I'm on the trip, I will likely be posting shorts potentially. I think that will likely be the plan, and then I'll be filming, I would say at least 4, maybe 5 videos while I'm on the trip, so we'll see how that goes. And then it's just going to take some time to get back and, edit all those, so hopefully I'll have one up fairly quickly when I get back. We'll see. Should be a lot of fun. So just a quick showing of what I got. Of course, got some travel toothpaste, got some travel hair stuff, a little deodorant, and a little Tums bottle. Pretty cool. All right, so a little bit more about the close-up lens and a couple of tests that we're gonna work on right now. I actually come from a couple of comments that I got on the last video that I posted about this lens, that kind of short test video. The first one comes from Brooke Stockton. It says, does the close-up lens pick up your fingers on the Explorer grip? So I'll turn this around and we will try that. And also, Brooke, thank you for your comment. I do appreciate that. And here's a quick shot of Mario. And Brooke, I'm actually holding the grip just like I would normally. And I don't have small hands, but the grip is still very comfortable in my hand, but no fingers to be detected there, which is awesome. And I think if you had the ultra wide lens, you may run into that a little bit more frequently. However, I don't have that lens and still not 100% sure that I'm going to get it. So, but yeah, Brooke, to answer your question, no problems with your fingers getting in the way. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I had another good comment here from John Mutit. I know I'm probably butchering your last name, and I sincerely apologize for that. But John wrote, I have the close-up lens. You were far too close at 2 inches. That's why it was out of focus. The lens is designed with a minimum focus of 4 inches. And yes, thank you, John, for pointing that out, because it's pretty funny, because when I watched back that last video about this lens, and I literally had just finished talking about the focal length, and then I did the the quote-unquote macro shot of Mario, and it was definitely out of focus. And I even mentioned that it was about 2 inches from him. So yeah, it's funny, because when I watched that back, I was like, well, I'm not going to re-record it. It's going to live in the internet, and that's okay. It is what it is. But thank you, John. I do appreciate your comment. But that being said, let's try it again at about that 4-inch mark to see how our focus looks from there. And there we go. Now we're at about 4 inches. I also have the focal peaking setting set on the camera, so that way I can kind of see it. Actually gives us like this red outline on the screen, which is pretty cool to see. So now how does Mario look? I'd say he looks a lot more in focus now than he did on that last video. Matter of fact, his pupils on the screen are actually red, so they're showing that they're in focus. So that's pretty awesome. Also, don't mind my desk. It is a little bit messy. I was just, going through stuff to figure out what's coming with me on the trip. So again, thank you, John. I appreciate your comment, and, thanks for calling me out on that misinformation, or at least the error on my part. I do appreciate that. But anyways, let me know what you think about this test. I mean, it wasn't overly complex or anything. But thank you for coming along with me while I prepare to leave on this trip in a few days here. If you do have any other questions or comments about this lens, the camera, the grip, anything like that, please let me know. I'm happy to talk about these things and answer any questions that you might have. That being said, I'm no camera professional. I'm not a professional photographer. I'm not a professional filmmaker or videographer. I mean, I did go to film school, but that's a whole topic for another time. And how I feel of whether or not film school is worth it. I think for some it is, but that's for another time. But I'm just a regular guy who enjoys making videos and camera equipment and things like that, microphones, all that fun stuff. So what you're getting here is really just kind of a normal person using camera gear. So if that's you, you're going to kind of get an idea of what this looks like for you and how it'll function for you for the most part. But yeah, so if you have any questions, please shoot them at me, and I'd be happy to respond. All right, so not the best of lighting right here, but I just wanted to pop in real quick just to point out, after watching back a lot of those clips, definitely was noticing where there's some where, I'm pointing the camera at my face and it gets a little soft and it's definitely out of focus. And then some clips, it looks a lot sharper. So I think what I noticed what was happening was I would switch to, a macro view, and I would either forget to change it from the people to macro or vice versa, going back from macro to then turning the camera on myself, forgetting to go from macro back to the person focal length. So that's one big takeaway, I think, from using this lens, is just making sure that you remember to make that change depending on what it is that you're actually going to be shooting. So yeah, good stuff. Otherwise, I think this is a great lens. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you would, that'd be fantastic. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.